Hello my dear students, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we are going to learn a class 10 English poem, The Stolen Boat, written by William Wordsworth. So let's read and understand, but before that students, if you are viewing my video for the first time, do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get the notifications of all the upcoming videos. Do watch the video till end, and if you like it, hit the like button and share with your friends. So let's move towards the poet now and let us see about the poet. So the poet here is William Wordsworth, and he is considered one of the greatest poets of English literature. Wordsworth and his friend S.T. Coleridge, by the joint publication of the lyrical ballads, became the harbingers of romantic movement in English literature. So he and his friend used to write the ballads. Ballads are the long poems, which are stories written in the form of long poems, and they became the person to change, to bring the change. Harbingers means to bring the change in the romantic movement in the English literature. And this episode, which we are going to read today, The Stolen Boat, is based on the experience of Wordsworth's early childhood days. When he was a child, when he was as a boy, what other things or what mischievous he did, he is sharing all those things here. This is an extract from Book One of Wordsworth's great philosophical poem, The Prelude. Okay, so here we are going to read The Stolen Boat, and here from the title itself, it comes to know that what kind of mischievousness did this Wordsworth do in his boyhood. So let us read the poem, understand, and enjoy it. Okay, so one summer evening, led by her, I found a little boat tied to a willow tree within a rocky cave, its usual home. Straight I unloosed her chain, and stepping in first from the shore, it was an act of stealth and troubled pleasure, nor without the voice of mountain echoes did my boat move on, leaving behind her still on either side small circles glittering idly in the moon. See here in these lines, the poet says that one summer evening, what did he do? He led her boat, the boat which was just tied. He found a boat, a little boat which was tied near a willow tree, to a willow tree. This so that the boat should not move away or just row away in the sea. So it was just tied to a willow tree. A tree which is grown near the water is known as willow tree. So it was tied there. And when this poet he found this boat tied there, he wanted to do some mischievousness. So what did he do? He just loosened the chain. He opened the chains of the boat which was tied on the willow tree. And within the rocky cave, its usual home. Where was this boat was kept? It was tied in a willow tree, but it was kept in a rocky cave. It was its usual home where it used to be kept every day. And the same way it was kept even today. And this poet, this boy, he went and loosened the chain and he stepped in and pushed it from the shore. And this was an act of stealth, means it was an act of stealing. He was stealing without letting the person know whose boat it was. He just tried it to open it and pushed it from the shore and loosened the chain and started rowing it. And troubled pleasure, nor without the voice of mountain echoes did my boat move on. There was all pleasure, nothing was there, no voice. Very silently the boat started moving on. There were no echoes there were no sounds being made. Leaving behind her still on either side small circles glittering idly in the moon. So when you row the boat with the oars, with the stick, what happens? You see small circles of the water which are glittering. So in the same manner, which when he was moving the boat in the sea, in the water, there were small circles which were glittering. And because there was a little bit of moonlight, a light moonlight which was falling on the water and it was glittering. So he's trying to explain each and every scene of that particular moment where he was enjoying this boat and boat ride by himself without letting the person know that he had loosened the chain of the boats and is enjoying it. Let's see. Until they melted all into one track of sparkling light, but now, like one who rose proud of his skill to reach a chosen point, with an unswerving line I fixed my view. Upon the summit of craggy ridge, the horizon's utmost boundary, Far above was nothing but the stars and the grey sky. She was an elfin pinnacle. Lustily, I dipped my oars into the silent lake as I rose upon the stroke my boat. Okay, so here the poet is saying, until they melted all in one track, like until and unless it was just moving on very smoothly in one track, and the sparkling of light could be seen in the water. Now, like one who rose proud of his skill, now he's saying a person who rides the boat, who's a skillful person, who's proudly rowing the boat, and he chooses a point like where he has to reach. In a similar manner, even the boy, the poet, he started to fix his view, like where will he go, where he has to row the boat and go. And then he very wisely, very nicely, he fixed the point that I'm going to reach that particular point. And upon the summit of a craggy ridge, the horizon's utmost boundary, far above was nothing but the stars in the grey sky. And then he wanted to go to the summit at the top of that craggy ridge. Now, a craggy ridge is nothing but a small, a kind of island or a rock, you can say, in between the water, wherein you have all small roots and plants, trees, roots which are just below the rocks, which are just floating in the water. So it was a kind of craggy ridge. So he wanted to reach till the summit, till the top of that craggy ridge and horizon at most boundary, and he wanted to meet go to the boundary till where he could see the horizon, where two ends meet, it's known as horizon. Okay, and but he couldn't see anything but stars and gray sky he could see, and there was nothing else, and he just moved on with his boat. Now she was an elfin pinnace. Now this elfin pinnace is the name of a small boat. Okay, so the boat is referred as she here. So it was a small boat, and lustily means very happily he dipped his oars into the silent lake. Now he dipped his oars. Oars are nothing but the long stick which are used to row the boat. So he dipped his oars into a silent lake. The lake, which was silent and very calm, he dipped it. And as I rose upon the stroke my boat, and he just started stroking it, and the boat started moving ahead. This is how he started moving towards his point where he had chosen to go. Then went heaving through the water like a swan, went from behind that crag is steep, till then the horizon's bound, a huge peak, black and huge, as if with voluntary power instinct. Up reared its head. I struck and struck again, and growing still in stature the grim shape towered up between me and the stars, and still, for so it seemed, with purpose of its own, and measured motion like a living thing, strode after me. With trembling oars I turned. Now what happened? He just went on with the oars and moved his boat ahead, and his boat was also moving like a swan very smoothly in the water. And from behind the craggy steep, now that craggy steep which he wanted to, or till where he wanted to go, which where he had fixed his point, his destination to go, from behind that craggy steep he could see a horizon bound, a huge peak, black and huge. There was a big black and huge kind of rock or something which was just peeping from behind the craggy steep, that craggy rock. And he felt that as if voluntarily it is having much power. That huge black and a huge peak behind the craggy rock is having a very powerful instinct. It is very powerful, and it's upbraiding his head, it's rising its head and seeing me. And he found that if I struck and struck again, he just moved on, and he just saw that as and when he is moving ahead near that craggy rock, at that particular black huge rock which was there behind it, it started to grow in stature. Stature means height. As he went nearer to that craggy rock, it started becoming more and more big in height and the shape, and it was standing between me and stars and still. Like he could see just he himself, the poet, and the stars, and everything was silent, everything was stopped, and that rock which was behind the craggy small little rock, it was just towering up, it was becoming growing bigger and bigger, and it seems that it had some purpose of its own. and it has a motion like living thing, as if he is walking and coming towards the boy. He felt that something from behind the craggy rock is just coming towards the boy, and it had some purpose of its own, and it was very huge, and it was very black, and it was very powerful, as he assumed, as he would see. And now he strode up to me with trembling oars. I turned. Now the boy, it was too much trembling. He was fearful, and with the oars he started turning his boat. He took the help of his oars to row the boat and turn it. And then, and through the silent waters stole my way back to the covert of the willow tree. There in her mooring place I left my bark, and through the meadows homeward went, in grave and serious mood. But after I had seen that spectacle for many days, my brain worked with a dim and undetermined sense of unknown modes of being over my thoughts. There hung a darkness, call it solitude. Then the poet says that, and then the silent water, he just stole my way. Means he started to change his way. He took the turn and he started going away from where he had come. And he reached back to the covert of a willow tree. Covert is a place where you keep the boat. So he just moved there and he just kept the boat in the mooring place where the boat was kept and saved for kept for the security purpose. He left the boat there and the bark and the oak over there, and he just moved through the windows towards his home. And he was in grave and serious mood, and he was very sad and upset. But after I had seen that spectacle for many days, and he says that that serious thing with that very huge black and a dangerous thing, fearful thing which he had seen, it was in his mind and brain for many days, and it worked dim and undetermined sense, and he could not understand what it was, and it was just coming in his mind over and over again. It came in his thoughts, and when he was in darkness, and he used to come, especially in the darkness, it used to bring overall darkness. And whenever he felt that he was in solitude, and he said that I felt that I was all alone, I was in solitude. Solitude means loneliness. Okay, so all the scene which he had seen there, that black big huge rock, he used to see again and again. It was in his mind, and he could not move away from it. And then he says, a blank desertion. No familiar shapes remained, no pleasant images of trees, of sea or sky, no colors of green fields, but huge and mighty forms that do not live like living men, moved slowly through the mind by day and were a trouble to my dreams. Then he says that all the things which I saw, that shapes, no familiar shapes remained in his mind, no pleasant images of trees which he had seen, so beautiful trees, none of it remained in his mind, nor the sky, nor the sea, nor the colors of green fields. But that only the huge mighty forms, which was not a very pleasant thing, which was very fearful for him, and it assumed like it is something like a living man, and it moved and came towards him. So he was feeling that it is not moving away from his mind. It is just fixed in his mind, and days passed away, and slowly he was just trying to forget it. But it was all haunting him and was troubling to his dreams. It used to come in his dreams, and he used to trouble him. So this is how the poet tries to share his experience, what he had done in his boyhood. He had stolen the boat, he rowed the boat, and he went some way across, and he saw a huge black rock, and he got afraid, and that particular scene and moment did not move out from his mind for many days and kept troubling in his dreams too. So this is the beautiful experience which the poet wants to share, and the mischievousness which he did in his boyhood. I hope the poem was clear to you all. You liked the video. If you liked it, do hit the like button and subscribe my channel. And keep watching my videos. We'll be back soon with more such videos. Thank you.